What's up, anime fans? I'm just that excited because we're starting a new anime. Welcome to AfterBuzz Anime Reviews. We're talking Soul Eater. The first few episodes are a prologue, but they tell you that, so we're going to dive into that. We have a loot crate and talk about Goku being at the Macy's Day Parade. Stay tuned.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
And now we got new music. It's like, let's sit for a second. And what do we think of this theme song?
I love it. Especially
I do too.
So epic.
It's a good theme song. And I feel I've heard it before that I'm like, I don't know where I've heard it.
Probably have at Anime Expo.
Yeah, somewhere.
Maybe at Rare.
Yes.
Yes.
Welcome to AfterBuzz Anime Reviews. We're now covering Soul Eater.
Yes.
Da da da. Suggested by Ollie.
You did it.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy the fans were so into it as well.
You
Snaps and
voted.
claps
We
for you.
had a voting and you guys voted. So go to ABTV Anime because we often do these kind of voting things and like let you guys pick what we're going to cover next. So all of us picked a show to cover. Ollie wrote in Soul Eater. So Ollie, why did you want us to cover Soul Eater? Just give us a brief little why this show.
Well, definitely this was an anime that really got me into anime.
Sure.
Literally 10 years ago, so it's like I get the chance to relive it with you guys because I feel like this anime has so much heart to it. It's very dark and grisly at some points, but it has so much heart. Yes, there's like fan service. I know we can talk about that, but it's just fun and it's so funny too. Like, and the characters are so unique. I haven't really seen them in other animes, and yeah, I'm so excited.
Nice. Yes, if you didn't realize, this show came out 10 years ago this year, so yay!
That's so
Happy
crazy.
10-year anniversary.
Yeah.
So I'm excited that we're covering that. So we'll go through initial thoughts. So Ollie has seen the whole show, but how was it for you revisiting it?
It's so nostalgic. I totally agree with you guys in the chat. Thanks for tuning in, Starcloak. This is literally this back in the day. This was like the My Hero kind of.
Okay.
Like, I remember
Okay.
I went to my first Anime Expo. Like everyone was like talking about this Soul Eater, and I feel like a lot of people forgot about it.
Okay.
So I'm like glad that we can kind of be like no, watch Soul Eater, but like it just makes me so happy because I love Maka. Maka right over there, Veronica.
Hey, Maka.
She has a plaid skirt, which she'll post pictures of.
I will.
Yeah.
I was very proud of this.
So what did you think then?
Oh, I loved it. Like Ollie, I have seen most of it, and so it's very fun to kind of get back into, especially since we have seen the progression of anime, not just in story and depths with the characters, but also in animation. So it's very fun to go back and watch something like this because it's very charming, just seeing how like it was back then.
Yeah.
And then especially, I was telling Ollie, going from My Hero Academia, which was very heartwarming and a great strong story. It's very fun to see this as a little kookier and wackier.
Yeah.
So kooky.
And Jaimie?
It's so fun. I was just telling everybody how much I think I'm really gonna like this show. I just started catching up on Bleach again, and they kind of remind me of each other, just with the souls and consuming the souls, taking over the souls, killing the souls, everything is soul related.
All the souls.
Yeah, I love it because it just brings back memories too. So it's nostalgic for me in a sense, but it's a show that I just know is gonna be good. I love how it's realistic. Just with Maka and her family situation. I think it's really cool how they're bringing that into like an outer worldly experience. So I'm excited.
Yeah.
Yes. I will be honest, I don't love it yet. I know,
okay.
right? But you know what? That's okay. Because let's be honest, all of us weren't sure about My Hero until the end of season 1. Then we were like, oh, we're all on board for this.
Yeah.
I don't dislike it. I just feel like, okay, but also I appreciate that the show after the 3rd episode goes, okay, that was just the prologue. So I don't feel anybody should ever judge a show or that's like leaving a movie at the first 20 minutes. This is all the intro groundwork. It's like maybe after the first arc, maybe by episode 12, then I could be like, all right, this is how I feel. And that other voice you heard, we got Tony. Tony, you, how do you know this show? Have you seen it before, and what are your thoughts watching it?
Hello, everybody. I'm Anthony. Yes, I've seen the whole thing before. This is one of my first animes I fully completed. I remember when it was on Netflix, and that's how I was able to see it. And someone told me about it when I was in high school.
Nice.
And I freaking loved it. I love the world. I love how it's in a sense all Halloweeny,
Yeah. Right? It's Halloween Town.
Yeah, exactly. Just darker. I also like the dichotomy of the meisters with the weapons, like they have to. It's a group of people that have to work together in order to defeat these witches and stuff.
Yeah.
And the world that they create is just amazing. And also, I don't know if they introduced them because I hadn't seen these episodes yet. But yeah, Frankenstein is like one of my top dogs. He's so badass. Like, I can't wait.
Now, we are watching this, three of us, from Fresh.
Yes.
So please, no spoilers. And I know I have a lot of world building questions, which Ollie or be our go-to of
I'll try my best. Because, like,
if it gets answered later or something, or if it's like, just wait, they'll explain it.
It's been 10 years.
No.
I'll do my best.
No, but there's some that are like, they're building this world and it's still the beginning, so I feel they'll get to it later. But yeah, you'll just be like, be like, just wait, that kind of a thing.
Oh, yeah.
So we do have a live chat. Welcome everybody in the live chat. Please no spoilers, and same thing for comments, which thank you and welcome everybody here. All right, so let's get into episode 1, which I love that every episode has the longest ass title possible. It's like what is going on? So episode 1, Resonance of the Soul. Will Soul Eater become a death scythe? It is interesting, his name is actually literally Soul. And then it's like they call him Eater. Like, no, your name is literally. I'm like, oh, okay. And we get introduced to Maka, and they are fighting Jack the Ripper at the very beginning with a fun fight. What do we think of that introduction of these characters and that fight scene?
Also, quick.
Yeah.
I love how like the villains are like Jack the Ripper. They're like these historical figures that they morphed into the anime. So I love that.
So does that continue?
Yes,
so
it
far
does.
there's 3.
No, it does. Yeah,
I noticed it in this episode.
Well, there's Al Capone, Jack the Ripper, and Rasputin.
Yeah.
So it keeps going?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But like, it's so creepy. Like, I love how creepy it is. I already said this, but yeah, there's so many funny moments. Maka with her tantrums, beating up everyone. But yeah. Also, real quick, are you guys watching it dubbed or subbed?
Dubbed.
Laura Bailey, Queen.
Bailey. I listened to part of it and I go, no.
Yeah, I was like, I knew Carrie's gonna do sub. I just knew it.
But like, I love English voice actors. I've met many of them and I love the craft, but I'm like, no. But it's interesting though, in the sub, the voice for Soul is much deeper than I would expect for that body. But that kind of works for him.
He's so angsty.
That body.
Yeah. Well, he's petite.
Also, can I just touch on what you mentioned about like the villains? I guess you said Al Capone, Jack the Ripper, and Rasputin.
So far,
I thought it was pretty cool because that's like a major, like infamous, like in a sense, like a villain in history. Because Jack the Ripper was from England, Al Capone is American, and then Rasputin is from Russian history. So I just thought it was pretty interesting to point that out.
Well, we're getting ahead with Rasputin, but I do like the joke or it's not really a joke, but they're like, I don't know how many times you've been shot. And I'm like, well, actually, he was shot a bunch and they don't really know. Team NT Country Drag in the chat says, granted, Carrie, I didn't really love the show until about episodes 7 and 8. Comedy and fan service weren't my cup of tea at the time either. Characters and setting kept me coming back. I don't hate the fan service. I think it's interesting that Maka doesn't really have fan service because there's many shots.
I'm happy she doesn't.
No, I don't mind. It's one of those, like, I noticed specifically because there's shots where she's essentially upside down. I'm like, we're not seeing anything, but she's younger, and I feel that'd be almost inappropriate.
And flat-chested. They're probably just like, we can't do anything.
Okay, speaking of that, I did a poll. Speaking of boobs, I did a poll on my Twitter. In the English, they call her flat-chested, which makes sense. In Japanese, they translate it to short stack.
Rude.
And I was like,
I think of pancakes.
But I think of pancakes too.
Pancakes or literally someone who's short. And I'm like, why is that an insult to a girl? Most girls don't necessarily hate being called short. I mean, yes. But, like, guys would maybe be more insulted to be called short. So I'm like, short stack? Why is that a thing? And then they finally get around to her boobs. And I go, what? That I feel is a bad translation. That I'm like, you should have just put flat-chested in the subtitles.
They would like have it in quotes above.
Yeah, that was a weird one. That I'm like, and I have noticed that. And yes, please let us know if you're watching this sub or dub. There's a lot of other moments too where it there's some cultural references, like the joke later with Blackstar when she's like, "You're not a star, you're like a falling star," and he's like, "Oh, don't make these astronomy jokes." That is not what's in the subtitles.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because like I was watching it on Netflix and the subtitles are way different than because sometimes I watch English with subtitles still because I'm weird.
No, I'm like, I need to know exactly what they're saying.
You catch stuff.
Yeah.
Well, it's like it's a pun, but it only works like in Japanese.
Okay.
It doesn't translate to English. Like he
Right.
says, it rhymes in Japanese. So it's one of those. That's always interesting though. So we like and appreciate that as well. So continuing the fight. So what do we think of the fight and meeting these two characters? You dressed up as Maka, so obviously
What do you think, Maka?
Veronica
Team Maka.
resonated. So tell me, what do you think?
It was awesome.
You're like,
No,
yes.
I mean, I really like it. I like the way that they interact with each other, Maka and Soul, because it's like a brother sister, you
Yeah.
bug me so much kind of relationship, and I just absolutely love it. And I think Soul is just so angsty. Something about him, and people might disagree with me about this. Not the anger. I just want to preface this. It's
I know
not
what
the
you're gonna
anger, but something about his stance and the way he walks, like he's so cool. Reminds me of Bakugan.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't say it.
Well, TMNT Country Dragon in the chat says, FYI, Bones, who animated Cowboy Bebop and My Hero, also animated Soul Eater.
Oh,
Wow.
I
So
can see that.
I can see some of those vibes.
Yeah.
Okay. Then Jaimie, what do you think of these two characters in the fighting?
Okay.
And how the fighting's filmed too?
Right. Well, I love the animation style. I love how you see this little girl with pigtails just like
Yeah.
kicking butt. And I didn't really understand their relationship at first. At first, I was like, are they together? Are they brother and sister? Are they just besties? Like, what is it here? But I like how they kind of explain what's going on as far as why Soul eats the soul and kind of like the whole purpose of them collecting the 99
Yeah.
Kishin souls. So I loved it. I'm like, we're learning about the characters. So it's slowly getting me invested in them.
Sure.
Yeah.
Something about the souls reminds me of like a very soft, like mochi
Like
that I
a
want.
gummy.
Yeah.
Like a very soft,
Or like a
gummy.
dumpling or something, and they just slurp it
And
up.
then when he slurps it up.
I'm
it's
like, that's kind of
Yeah.
good. Can I have one? What's your soul taste like? Soul food. It's soul
So
food.
she's trying to be a scythe meister, and we also meet Lord Death.
I love Lord Death so much. He's the definition of kooky.
Dude,
You're like,
Yes.
what is he?
And his karate chops are so deadly.
Yeah.
He just has like big foam hands.
Yeah.
That's like a pier. Ooh, I lost my pen there. I'm so
Reaper
excited.
chop. Oh
Yes.
my god, that happens so much. That's my favorite running gag throughout the
Yes.
series is Reaper chop. He's such a good. I love his dub voice too. And it's just funny because he's like Death, but like they made him into like a kooky character.
Yes.
So I just love him so much.
I love it. Oh, go ahead.
Can I just shout out TMNT Country Dragon? I don't know if
Yeah.
you guys already read this, but he goes, FYI, Bones, who animated
we said
Cowboy
that.
Bebop and My Hero. Okay.
Thanks,
That was it.
Yeah, Black Rock Wednesday goes, Reaper, chop! Yes, that one also, Marcela Morales says, yes, the soundtrack is amazing. Yeah, there's good, I do like
like
the
it.
music too. There's a lot of random music that pops up.
Even the
that's
ending
like,
theme.
oh, cool.
I like the ending theme.
Yeah.
And I also just back to the Reaper. Like I love how he's
Yeah.
so kooky because whenever I think of Reapers, I also think of the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. And I just remember him. So I'm a cartoon head, so I like to like
Yeah.
compare both of them. And I'm like, they're just all different. It's funny how they look at death. So
Well, then we also meet his scythe. We meet
Jamaican.
Death's scythe, which is like, everybody has the weirdest, like, interesting
Yeah.
names, which is Maka's dad
Yeah.
at this point, though she goes, he's not my dad. So I'm curious. Okay, so
That's
do
her
we
dad.
get information on literally are the weapons human beings that have chosen to do this?
Wait,
it's-
what was the question?
Are the weapons literally human beings? Because we as human beings can't turn into weapons.
No, they're
So are they human beings? Are they a separate species?
no, they're humans. They're humans who want to be weapons for the
Okay.
meisters, and they're both like they have to work together.
But are you like, you go, I can, like, do they explain how that ability
I
happens?
don't think so. Tony, do
Oh,
they do
these
that?
questions that I
don't
wanna
know.
know.
Yeah.
It's kind of like very matter of fact. That's just kind of the. I don't really know. That's a good question.
I-
I've never. Tony.
Yeah, I can't remember myself, to be honest with you, since it's been so
Okay.
long, but it's more like for me, it was just kind of like a thing I just accepted.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'm not sure if they choose to be weapons or they just are weapons. You know, like
Right.
some become meisters, others are just like, oh, I was born and I can become a weapon. I'm gonna, you know, join the cause.
Literally, I
But
wish.
then, like, how does that happen? Okay, so these are the questions I want to know. If you've read the manga and these
Yeah,
aren't
maybe that
spoilers, please
expands.
let me know. Because I was curious, because then I was like, okay, the literal, like, physics of it, like, could he physically be her dad? Because we learn later his mother was his second, or her mother
mom.
was his second partner. So then I'm like, oh, okay, so you can mate with the weapon and it can be like,
oh,
I'm
no,
thinking
yeah.
real world on this. We just watched another show that was
Don't
kind
get
of
too
real.
hard about it.
Yeah.
It's very just matter of fact.
Okay, well.
Also,
They're humans.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hail Crimson King in the chat says, yes, later they give a hint on how the weapons came about. It is a
Awesome.
slightly spoilery answer, but they do
Okay,
give a
good.
hint.
Thank you.
Thank
Cool,
you.
cool.
Yeah.
Because like it's interesting. Like I think this is what I do like about the show. That I'm like, ooh, this is really cool world that you've built. But then I'm like, but then how does that work? But anyway, so we meet her dad, and we learn he's a weird horned dog
Yeah.
and separated, sort of.
Talk about
you gotta
I was
face.
gonna say, talk about wacky goofy characters.
Yes.
Again, as I was explaining to Ollie before we started the show, we obviously went from My Hero Academia, which was such a solid story and a great and a little
Yeah.
bit on the more serious end, and here we are. I feel like we've gone back to a show that really plays on anime tropes. You know, you've got the
Yes.
fan service, you've got the nosebleeds, you've got the characters that like do the weird like tantrums and all this stuff and pouts, and he's just funny.
Yes.
Yeah, he's all over the place.
So then when they go on their hunt, they have their 99 and they go after a witch. Do we learn why are witches bad?
Go watch the anime.
Right away, I'm like, this they set up that all witches are evil, and then I go, well, are we gonna find that out?
Because they are evil.
This is-
Even in our normal lives, like, or in normal, our world, like, if a witch is a witch, like, a witch is usually perceived as evil.
Sometimes there's good witches.
Judgment right away, which we meet somebody else later.
There's a whole lot of other information on that we're not going to get into.
Yeah,
Okay.
so, but I think it's interesting that they've set up this world. So they've set up this world that you go kill a witch, which we learned later is a little more complicated, which I
Yeah.
appreciated that, because then I'm like, all right, fine, if you set up this, then this happens later. We meet Blair, the witch cat, which I like I went back and rewatched part of it in English to get the voices, and I like that there's a hint that she's not a witch, because she's like, witch, what are you talking about? When they say, like, we want your soul, witch. Who saw that going wrong? They would have to start over.
Me.
I had no clue.
Yes.
I
You didn't
yeah.
think she was a witch?
I thought she was a witch. I guess I just discriminated against her, and I just thought like the way
Yeah.
she looked, and the hat, and I didn't know she was gonna turn into a cat. Like, I had no
It's
clue.
amazing. And the fact that it's cat, so she has 9 souls.
Yeah. I love that.
They ate one of them, so she has 8 souls now. But I love Blair. She's
She's very funny.
She gets into some drama later, and she's just a fun. She's just a fun
Yes.
comic relief character.
I like her flying pumpkin.
I like the pumpkin.
Yeah.
That was fun. And then she's definitely more stacked. Using the word, she's thick. Using the vocab that's in the anime in the Japanese version. But yeah, there's definitely. Well, that's what I mean. I'm like, well, it makes sense if you go that direction. If and then, come on. So yeah, we saw that reset coming. Why witches are bad. Oh, the aesthetic of the world. What do we think of it? Because, like, it's very Halloween Town. We have this weird sun and moon that's,
Yeah.
like, bleeding
Yeah.
and laughing. We dig it.
Oh, I dig it. I like the sun and the moon the most. I was a little confused about it, so I'm like always paying most attention to that every time he pops up.
Yeah.
Which I tried to look up. So it looks like it's just like an emotional, well, not an emotional, but it's just a moon sun that shows emotion. I just don't understand the blood. Like, does that mean anything?
Giant emoji in the sky that's bleeding. That's,
Okay.
This
Who
is
gets
just what
angry and happy and sweaty?
I accepted
It's a
everything
just
in this anime when
I mean, I
first
like it.
watched
No, see, we ask questions because we care.
Yeah.
If we didn't care, we wouldn't ask questions.
We wouldn't
All
ask.
right.
Guys, there's a whole episode about the sun and moon later. No, I'm kidding.
Really? Oh, stop. All right. Episode 2. Let's move on. Because anything, not much, episode 1.
Yeah.
That's
Other than like her drama with her dad, I think that's, and also
Cheater.
I think the relationship between Maka and Soul Eater is really important, because she doesn't.
Oh,
she
when he
doesn't
grabs her hand and he's like that, like the betrayal. Did we think it was a betrayal or a
I
setup?
thought he was gonna betray her. But then
my
I was like,
God.
maybe not for long. But then, because just the way that he did, I was
Sure.
like, he's just kind of, I don't know, betraying
Yeah.
her right now. But I thought it was dope that he like actually, helped her out.
Because clearly she holds so much against men because of her father cheating on
Yeah.
her mother, and like Soul's kind of like the only guy that she really trusts.
Yes.
And he's the one who's going to help her, become
Yeah.
a meister, and
Yes.
he's going to become a death scythe, hopefully.
They need each other.
I'm already
Oh.
feeling.
Yeah. We got episode 2. I am the star. The big man is showing up here, question mark. Rules of assassination.
Yes.
And that turned into a joke real fast. Like at the beginning it seems all serious and everything, and we meet Blackstar and then it's like, oh nope, this is going comedic.
Yeah.
Yes, Veronica.
Oh,
Okay, I was like, you're just making
Oh,
a
because
face.
you don't like Blackstar, right?
I'm not the biggest fan of Blackstar currently.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Same. But we meet Tsubaki, which is his weapon. They have had no souls collected. And I do like that she changes into different weapons.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
then my next question is like, so is she different that she changes into different weapons and other ones? You establish that relationship with your wielder, essentially. Like what works best for you, because he does seem the mini scythes. I know there's a probably technical term for them, but I'm not thinking of it right now. But like that seems like his weapon of choice, which I like that. Which is funny. She's naked in the reflection, and then when he sees her naked, he trips out.
Yeah.
That feels like contradiction. Just saying. But anyway, what do we think of Tsubaki? And we've already kind of said what we think of Blackstar. I agree. I'm like, oh, this character needs to grow.
Just uncontrollable.
I love that, like, their dynamic, everyone's dynamic between the relationships between the meister and the weapon is different in this anime. I think with theirs, you would think that the meister is the one who's in control and kind of needs to teach the weapon, where it's the opposite here. Tsubaki's kind of the one who has to keep him in line, despite her being the weapon, and he's the meister. Yeah.
He has a little bit of a cocky attitude, and she has to constantly reel him back in, and that's why I feel like I'm not, like, on board with him yet.
Right.
Which I love when he's peeping Toms her. She's not disappointed he's peeking. She's disappointed he was discovered. Because she's like,
he did it poorly.
He did this bad.
He wants to be an assassin, yet he's so loud and arrogant and cocky. And Tsubaki's there to humble him. And she does a good job at it, I think.
Yes. The chat, a few people are agreeing, like, at the beginning, most people are not a huge fan. So, but it's the beginning, and this is what's going to make it rewarding when this character does grow. Jaimie, what do you think of Tsubaki?
I like Tsubaki. She kind of reminds me of another character. I'm always comparing the animes, but they just always remind me of somebody else from, like, Outlaw Star. I forget that character's name. Yeah. But I like Tsubaki, and I'm already having a brain fart. I like Tsubaki and Blackstar's relationship.
Yes.
I just think it needs to be a little stronger so they can work better together, because Blackstar is a little too obnoxious. And also just the voice acting for a second, just hearing it, I was like, is it a boy? Is it a girl? Then I saw the body. And, how did it sound subbed?
Subbed, it sounds like a dude.
Okay, well,
right away I was like, it's a guy. But then when I watch it in English, I'm like, that's a lady playing a boy.
And the blue hair threw me off, and I was like, okay, no, it's a dude. So...
But those guns, I'm like, that looks like a shonen boy. But it could be a girl. But talking about their relationship, I was like, I think that's maybe the next episode. But I liked where we had Maka's kind of dialogue talking about them, saying, she sees in him something, and that's why they're still working together. I was like, aww. So, then we go, all right, well, that's why they're still together.
Yeah. That is
someone's got to take it.
So we have the Al Capone. Oh, so then Al Capone goes to the witch, the supposed witch, and to get power. And we meet Mifune, which I was like, that's an interesting name. Yeah. I loved him. I thought he was great. Yeah. Super interesting character. And they're going after the witch Angela, and something's different about her. Which, who saw that being the twist?
I didn't, but I want to go back to Kari's question about, like, why are witches bad in this world? And you look at her, and she's just the cutest, like, little girl. And it's like, what's so bad about her?
Yes. I agree. That's what I'm glad that they had that in it, too, because then that makes me go, so why are they all thinking witches are bad if, like, this exists, too? Because with anime, there's a lot of good witch stories, too. So that's why I'm like, not all bad. Little Witch Academia, too.
Yeah, my Mary and the Witch's Flower.
Yep. Yeah. So also we are 2 for 2 for naked women bathing. Both episodes, as in first episode and the second one.
Are we going to start a penny jar?
Well, I wrote for the third, and then the fourth. We'll see what happens. So Blackstar and Tsubaki get to the witch's castle, and all of Capone and his men are wiped out. But then I like that they answer the question, do you have to make the kill to collect the souls? No. It's like gaming. You get that drop and you miss it. Sucks to be you.
Yeah, that's so crazy.
But that's cool. Or, just collect them. So that Mifune fight with Tsubaki and Blackstar. Loved that. What'd you guys think?
I liked it, but again, it just... I get what Jaimie's saying, and that Blackstar is really obnoxious, because I felt so bad for what's her name? Tsubaki.
Tsubaki.
I felt so bad for her because they were doing so well, and then Blackstar has to be like, I'm the best assassin, and I am this, I'm gonna get you, and he just kind of ruins everything.
Yeah, he needs like some humble pie. It's like I don't get it, but I think it's because we don't know enough about Blackstar, so it's just like they're just bam in your face. So I feel like there's gonna be more backstory on Blackstar, and also just his moves like Trap Star. I was trying to figure out like what they mean by all this. Like so a lot of the characters even have meaning. We'll probably get into that character, but with Sid and just them fighting him is him as well in the next
But that
episode.
final move, though.
Yeah.
Oh, and the way he threw his swords was kind of like Unlimited Blade Works, which is in Fate's Day Night. Okay. If you guys see Fate's, there's a move like that where they have like the weapons everywhere so they can pick them up, and I thought that was so cool. So we meet the super kawaii witch, and yeah, I agree. I was like,
He's just so cute.
She's adorable. She's like, I loved it.
But this is where Blackstar, I kind of go, all right, you have your moments, because even Mifune goes like, you're not the same person, but because it wasn't. But we get that moment where Blackstar has honor because he goes, yeah, if I killed the kid, it would haunt me the way that Mifune said it about him. So you go, all right, room for growth.
And it's funny how his like worst trait, which is cockiness and his arrogance, is kind of like good in this sense because he's like, if I don't collect these souls myself, kill these people myself, get the witch, whatever, like then it doesn't mean anything. And it also, he didn't want to kill the girl, like he didn't want to kill Angela. So it definitely, I'm not a huge Blackstar fan, but that definitely showed me. I'm like, okay, Blackstar.
Yeah.
I want to know more about him, and I want to see him growth because clearly I felt like that was already kind of some development that we saw in this episode, despite him being so annoying.
Yeah, I love that he turned in the souls and he's like, I didn't do it. And you know what? If you are trying to be the best, that'd be cheating, then you don't have that skill to get them and move forward. Yes. Then the chat, Hail Crimson King says, I love the fact that Mifune uses the police keep out tape basically to form a kind of ring where they fight. Oh, I love that tape stuff. That made me think of Aizawa. So that's how we think we find comparisons, and then if this was 10 years ago, anything else too, it's like of course they might draw on it, but that's cool if like that maybe inspired it. All right, episode 3, we'll get through these a little quicker. The Perfect Boy, Death the King's Magnificent Mission. Oh man. We meet Patty and Liz, who are sisters, and the Pistols, which totally made sense after, like, when you see the form. I love how they come out of the form.
Me too.
Oh, I love that.
Oh, that's, like, beautiful. And then we meet the son of Death, who's a Shinigami, Death the Kid. And he doesn't need to collect them, and he has to get twice as many because he has 2 weapons. Now this is a character. Is
that a good arm or a bad arm? Because this is my boy.
I like
my
him,
boy.
but he's like his OCD is through the roof. Like it's
I
crazy.
love it. He's so weird.
Oh man,
Ooh, that symmetry. I mean,
He's
goodness.
So funny.
I love it. I love him so much.
I just want to smack him the way Patty does too. Stop it. Oh no, Liz.
And the
Liz
way
does.
he holds his guns too.
I love that.
That gives me so much like it hurts me. Like, but it's cool. But like
It does look cool. I like that.
some pinky strength, man.
Dude, that death skateboard hoverboard was dope.
Yeah.
I want that thing. When he goes and it comes in with that, it was great. So we go to the Pyramid of Anubis, and there's a witch making mummies, and that was my question of are humans weapons, and it's a choice or not. Weird ass mummies and licking the face. Nope, I agree. I'm with Liz of like, no! And then later when they put the gun in the mouth, and she's like, don't put it here! What do we think of that, too, that visual representation when they are nude, and in that space of like when they're in the weapon form, but we still get to hear their expression? What do you guys think of that?
Well, I just think with the animation and just with all the women naked, you said that in almost every scene. Like
We need to see boys, because there are some boy weapons.
I forget this. So I don't even remember. Does Soul, is he naked when he? Because sometimes
No, he has his clothes on.
Interesting.
He has his clothes on when she sees him in the
Or even when
reflection.
Blair was over top of Soul, like, and her boobs are in his face. Like, it's just everywhere you look, it's always a boob joke.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Well, in the form of in the weapon, it makes sense because then it's like their pure form. I like a scene like their thought process, and they still get a voice even when they're the weapon. Because even when Soul is in the scythe form, the face kind of animates
Yeah.
the eyeball, and it kind of twists and kinks and moves. So that's nice to like have some expression instead of just like us hearing a disembodied voice. So then we get Death the Kid. Oh, he leaves because that picture frame.
God.
I loved it.
Funny.
I loved it.
And then he gets home and it's fine.
Perfectly symmetrical.
Yeah.
And the fact that he has the white streaks, it's like,
Yes.
wait, you're not.
Right.
And then he cries and they coddle him. Girls, don't. You're enablers.
Oh, I love them so much.
So, the thing also I like that they, this is a rule building and they show, is that the girls, when they switch between who's a weapon and who's not, and that the other one can use it too.
Oh, I like
that
that.
was so cool. They're like, swap, switch.
I love the fact that he has 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that they're so different.
Yeah, because I don't really know if anyone else has 2. Minor characters might have 2 weapons, but...
Well, you have to get twice as many, so if that's your choice, that's more work. But
But he needs to be his symmetry.
Yeah, symmetry.
it's great.
They are not
I like.
symmetrical.
This is true.
So we meet the witch. So this is a scary witch. Where I go,
Yes.
okay, sure, she's bad and she's killing people, essentially a witch. Okay, in this world building, anybody else notice we've seen like no normal humans except for Jack the Ripper with the 2 ladies? So far. Just saying. Where are the normal
They're
people?
irrelevant.
Probably because they just a lot of them look
Where
normal,
is this
too.
world? Where are the people?
They're cannon fodder.
They are. Well, because they mentioned that the witch is making these people into mummies, and then it's like, where are the people?
All mummies.
Dead.
Or when is
But
it that
even
they
in
make
the
that
other
transition?
worlds. But
Yeah.
whatever. I like that the pharaoh eats her as punishment for killing his people, though. I was like, okay.
That was a creepy scene, too. See,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, this
Yeah.
anime has some creepy stuff
Yes.
to it. As funny as it is, it's like, ooh,
Yes.
grisly. But I'm totally here for the horror, obviously.
So it's not the bathing scene, but we get tied up and sexy. So another kind of kink.
got some fetishes here and there.
The slow talking.
And their underwear coming, showing. And it's like, okay. So at first he can't fight because, oh no, the symmetry. But then the mummy comes out and he's like,
Oh my god.
that was funny. Righto, lefto. Righto, lefto. So that's what it sounds like in Japanese.
That's cute. Right?
This happens. This is a reoccurring thing with him too. So
Oh my goodness.
it's so funny. Like
See, I like that I can handle him and I adore him because he's so quirky and different.
Yeah.
and he's like, "You're
Disgusting.
Yeah, he's like, oh,
shoots
no.
him.
So they destroy the pyramid too, and they go, prologue's over. Now the story begins. So it's yay. So finally, we got episode 4. Engage the Wind Hunter, a remedial lesson in the graveyard. Another one. So we talked about Rasputin, so cool historical figures. Blair's there, and then I go, okay, wait, unless Maka actually likes Soul, why does she care?
She just.
I was so confused
because
about that.
I think it's mostly because she's my interpretation, at least from what I can remember. I don't think she sees him kind of like going down a similar path of her dad, or at least she doesn't want that for Soul Eater because she really trusts and doesn't want him to become like a creepy pervert like her dad.
Maybe
Sure.
it's jealousy too. Like
A
she
little
might be
bit,
jealous.
maybe a little undertones of that as well.
Sure. Somebody mentioned they were interested in us covering Gunslinger Girl, but I see some Gunslinger look style in Maka as well, actually. But it's blonde pigtails. But that's the thing with anime. There's so much overlap on characters that it's like there's a lot of similarities that makes you think of it. All right, so Death Scythe, we talked. He's the temporary sensei. She's like, not my dad.
I don't know him.
Look at me, Maka. I hope that you're proud of me. Or something
Like,
like
I
that.
don't know you. But that's kind of cute. Of every kid has moments where they're embarrassed by their parents.
Facts.
So is there some danger at the school? And Lord Death summons them and points out that they're going to take a dummy class because they're not doing so great. But that Sid, who we met super briefly in the last episode, died. And he is now a zombie, which is like, wait, what?
That came out of
So
nowhere.
if they don't get this done right, they'll be expelled. No big deal.
Pressure.
So Hook Cemetery, the zombie fight was pretty darn cool. I like that one. And the going into the ground.
Yeah.
My Hero
that was sick.
Academia,
Yep.
we had that too. Different kind of plan. And that is where I go, okay, Blackstar, you had your moments of being cool. because he goes like, I can sense it and everything. And he was totally doing his little yoga breath. I don't know if anybody's done yoga. It's his little exhales like, but that one's more to generate heat, but that's okay. Then Fear. This is where it was cool, where Death is watching them. What do we think of that talk where Death pretty much says, Maka points out that fear makes you stronger. And Death says pretty much Maka is using her fear and working with it. Mm-hmm. I felt that was one of those like deeper meaning moments of anime.
Yeah, she's almost like Midoriya, where like no matter what, she's always gonna fight regardless. Yeah. Like she doesn't let fear stop her. So I like it. Plus she's a girl, so it's like we finally see a girl kicking butt. I'm all for it.
Yes. I appreciate her. Like, I'm tough. Soul. Oh, the soul wavelengths and how much that failed. Dude, soul resonance and whoops. But this feels like they're setting it up so that it will work later. But here we're introducing it in the comedic, which looks cool. I want to see it work. Then we meet Dr. Frankenstein, and he was Death's first partner, and it was Maka's mom was second. And then they go to him with the zombie, and that's how the episode ends. What do we think of Dr. Frankenstein? We only like that little tiny bit, but what do you think so far?
I'm intrigued to know more.
Yeah, I don't know yet. Yeah. All I saw was just him at like this big screen, so I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you
so much.
Yes. Okay.
Thank you. I'll be here all week.
We're gonna hold on to our predictions because that's the end of episode 4, and this is definitely just the introductory, so that's why I'm like, well, we'll wait. Yeah. Real quick, our special segment. I know we all kind of are familiar with the word, but I thought we'd talk about Shinigami because they mentioned Death the Kid is a Shinigami, and we've met this character in Death Note and everything, so it's pretty much kind of described also, and I feel it's kind of broad too, it probably depends on the anime. Gods, supernatural spirits, monsters, creatures of darkness, or even fallen angels. So if you didn't know the actual like literal Shinigami. Sorry, I have more of an E at the end because it's Shini. No. Gami. My font. I'm like, yes, thank you very much, everybody saying they're like, oh, yay, going over an anime. And, I feel this is also one of those animes that, like, maybe you knew about. Like, I knew about it. I never watched it, but I was very familiar with the visuals. Okay, so really quick, we'll do some news, and we're going to do some other stuff really quick at our last little bit of time. So, news. So, you may or may not know, Macy's Parade is getting Goku as a giant balloon, which is amazing. So it's the most recognizable hero in all of Japanese animation. Will descend upon New York City as a giant character balloon in the 92nd annual Macy's Day Thanksgiving Parade on Thursday, November 22nd. So main character Dragon Ball, which we all know this. So it's like, come on. So it's going to be there. More than 50 million people gather for that show and households nationwide to watch that. It's the start of the holiday season. I don't always watch the parade, but I do like it when I'm able to catch it. It's really fun. And it's amazing that we're going to have an anime character be there.
And he's an Ultra Instinct, so it's like people get to see him. That way people will want to see Dragon Ball Super.
Yes.
I was going to say, because it's nice to see like an actual, something that's more recognizable as an anime, because I think Pikachu has been there, but Pikachu is so... It's an anime, but sometimes people are like, it's
too cutesy.
Too cutesy enough to be just a cartoon, but you know.
So this is also in preparation for the upcoming January 16th North American release of Dragon Ball Super Broly. So that's a big deal. So it's a big deal that they're having the float. It's 70 feet wide, at 70 feet wide, 36 feet wide. Maybe at different parts. 56 feet tall, the giant character helium balloon features cyan colored eyes and hair and eyes, signature orange jumpsuit along with the blue sash and boots. So you can go check that out. So go Funimation for having that. They tweeted about that, and I think that's awesome and amazing. So also super duper quick, we're just gonna open it, and there's not as many items. So we got another loot anime crate. And speaking of Dragon Ball, we got a Dragon crate.
I'm so excited.
I love it. I love it already.
I kind of peeked Ollie. I think you're excited that you should open this shirt. This is not Dragon Ball, but you should open that.
Oh my god! My hero shirt.
Right?
Yes. That's actually really dope.
What is this theme?
This is why you need loot
Jaimie,
anime.
I think you might want to talk about this.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so this is a capsule cord beanie, which is perfect. I will rock this. That's all I need to say.
And then Veronica, I handed you one.
Oh my god, I can't even.
You're like, what is it?
What is it? Robotech!
Oh,
that's
That's
dope.
really cute.
All right,
Oh.
so this month, let me grab, and we got it.
Is that a poster?
Yes, it is. With
Bardock
every
has
box,
always
you get
been fine.
posters.
Oh my
In
God.
it, ahem. So, poster. One. Oh, do I have it upside down? No, I'm good.
No, you're good.
Woo-hoo.
Yeah, you're good.
Cover my
Very
face.
nice.
So the theme of this box, this is for November, is transform. Robots, humans, objects, and more. It's time to transform. Get ready to undergo a complete metamorphosis with anime and manga items in this month's Loot Anime Crate. So there's the All Might shirt, there's the Dragon Ball exclusive Z beanie, there's the exclusive Robotech t-shirt, and then the last two items here I have is a exclusive Combat Baker and Ottoman Waitress pin.
Nice.
And then a really nice little, this is a exclusive Yume pint glass. So this is the mascot for Loot Anime. And it's a very pretty, like, nice glass.
cute.
I
with
love
the characters.
This is so cool.
It's a
They're
gorgeous
so
mascot.
cute.
And if you don't know, Japan is all about the mascots.
Oh, yeah.
All about everything. Like train stations have mascots. Everywhere they have mascots. So that is the theme for Loot Anime
Damn.
for this month. Hope you enjoyed our unboxing. So go check out lootanime.com/ABTV anime for your special discount code. Again, lootanime.com /anime ABTV anime. We'll link it too on the description. Thank you so much. We'll do quick lightning predictions. Ollie, you can't say any.
Okay.
Your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
You guys got this.
All right. Well, I know we're still learning about everything, so I'll be really vague with it. But of course, we're going to learn more about Frankenstein, Dr. Stein. So I want to learn more about him, what he's all about, and I want to meet some more characters and villains. So I'm just really excited.
I just really want a Death the Kiss standalone episode. I mean, we kind of got it, but I want another one.
I'm excited to see the character development. I'm glad we've been introduced very broadly to these characters, and I feel this anime is going to get deeper with them. And like this is the groundwork that they got to lay. So I'm excited to see where the show goes and see more action and more historical characters, sort of.
Yeah.
I was like,
Like, who's next?
Yeah, who's next? Oh my goodness. Ollie, where can they find you online?
Hey guys, I'm Ollie Drennan. Find me on all social media platforms at Ollie Dreamer.
Hey guys, Jaimie Gray. You can find me on Twitter at It's Jaimie Gray or IG at Jaimie Gray.
Hey guys, Veronica Valencia. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at It's Me, Veronica_V.
And Tony?
Oh, sorry, I was blindsided. You can find me everywhere at Tony B Tony _TONY, the letter B TONY_. Thank you so much. Great show.
And thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much, everybody, joining us in the live chat. Please comment down below your thoughts on these episodes and the things we covered. Please no spoilers. My name is Kari Lane. You can find me online at Kari D Lane. That's KARIDLANE. And also check the description down below for your link to the Loot Anime. And thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next week. Sayonara.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.